Hello, good morning, all Dharma brothers and sisters. And today I will answer all the questions. First, I read your questions one by one, and then I will answer to these questions. Tangwe do je 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 re so ro jen je ma do du je bon jang ba sir je lum bo ta ver ji pe ge shik je je be je do ngo zhan za dor jen 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 de lo na ro ta ma ba ma la chu je Gampopa Pamo de ba je wan de gong ba ga je la ma nam la so wan de da ge lo chu san ro war sin je la de so chu lam dun ro war sin je la de lam dro wa ze war sin je la de so dro wa yi shi san je war sin je la de so gang ge din jen de war jong ga ba mi about the question and answers. So that's where this his dharma is very clear. I mean, Buddha's teaching is very clear. Because his disciples ask questions him, and then he answers on there. So it is really in order to we keep going this spiritual tradition. It is so wonderful. Also, during the listen the answers, we try to generate bodhicitta. The bodhicitta is how important we understand because His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche gave us such a profound teaching on bodhicitta yesterday. And then right now we have opportunity to practice on it. That is our great karma. Okay. And then from my side, I would like to say if sometimes the answers unclear or not clear for you to your questions, then please you can ask another time, okay? Then the first question says, as a practitioner, what are signs that I should adopt the antidote of cultivating the opposite quality to a negative obscuration that arises, instead of maintaining pure view towards all phenomena? If you see that your anger is clarity, then do not need to practice patience. If you see the clarity, you see your anger is clarity, because that is highest antidote of your angry emotion. If you cannot see the your is clarity, then when suddenly your emotion arises, and then as anger, then you must recognize it is anger. Because if you do it is anger, then it's very difficult to use antidote. If you recognize it is your anger, then you have to remember the bad qualities of anger in relation yourself and others. Anger is a fire. If you touch on the fire, it's burn your hands. If you put the fire on others' hands, in others' hand, it also burn others' hands. So we have to know anger is how serious. So my main answer is it depends your level of realization. If you see your clarity, then you can immediately purify your anger when it is arises. If you are not that level yet, you know by yourself, I cannot judge your mind. But still, even though you see the anger emotion is anger emotion has bad qualities, it is still your realization is higher. You have a greater realization. If you compare with others, many of people they don't understand angry is bad emotion. So we compare with that person, you know the anger is bad emotion. So if we compare between these two things, then you know anger is a bad emotion. That is a more higher realization. But you know that your anger is clarity, that is the highest realization. So this is very important. So when for instance, your angry emotion arises, you just watch or just look at your angry emotion. And then you will see the nature of this. So then angry emotion is just, we can say disappears, or we can say it's transformed into the clarity when you watch the nature of your angry emotion, okay? Then the second question says, similarly, what are signs that I should adopt pure view towards all phenomena instead of cultivating the opposite quality? Actually, there are some types in training in pure view. First, you focus on the good qualities of those around you and try to see them in positive light. For example, if you see a dark spot with a small hole in the center, dark spot with a small hole. Maybe I give you. I think I understand, right? Dark spots, dark color has small hole center of that. When you see, or when you see that, you should not focus on the dark. If you the light, I mean the whole center of this dark, then that hole is very small, but then you see light inside. Similarly, if you focus other people's good quality, everybody has at least a single quality. Everybody has at least one good quality, at least. Then we focus on there, then it will help you to reduce your anger emotion, and also it will help you to keep good relation with your that person. The example is let me share that, because I heard Rinpoche shared that His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche taught to some of sanghas. So he told us to. I think that's where it's okay to tell now, because this is a very great example. When his eyes has a problem, eyes have a problem, and then first is like a dark spot, but then slowly the center of that dark spot appears small hole, the small, very small, like almost pen make like this pen the tube of this pen. Then he focused on there, and then sometimes there appears like a tara or tam or something, right? And then slowly this growing, this or radiate light, and then this how to say, dark spot disappear, and then there's no no worry whether what happened with that. So similar, I think that is a great example. And then we do not use that only for example. We have to practice like that when we have something, some situations, right? Then you third question says, you mentioned a breathing technique you call vice breath. Could you give a brief instruction on? Is this related to His Eminence teachings on Om Ahum Vajra recitation? Now, the vice breath, I don't remember exactly that word. Perhaps, yeah, of course, you are right, but now I can't bring exactly these words here. But of course, I did taught on there because you remember that. But I think it's very good. I already have planned to teach a little bit on the breath a little bit because it is useful when we meditating. So maybe you heard that in the Abhidharmakosha text. This is a philosophy book. There are many commentaries on there. It's a really higher the philosophy text. So inside it says Abhidharmakosha text. It says the 6 methods of the how to be mindful, and then I will share 3 of them. Okay, not all. Another 3 of them is not so related with breath, only breath. Also, I think it's a little hard to understand. Then the 3 of them is useful during our meditation. So first is count. Which means counting the breath. When you breathe in and out, that's one. You count 10 in and out breaths. Do you understand? You count 10 in and out breaths. If during that time you have no distraction, then your mindfulness is stable. When you count 10 in and out breaths. If you don't have distraction at that time, then your mindfulness is stable. Of course, you don't satisfied only with that. You progress. You should progress because you can progress that. This is the first. The first is count for the breath. The second is following, which means your attention follows the breath. Your attention follows the breath. Your attention should stay on the breath as it goes through the nostrils into the throat, the chest, the navel, and abdomen. Now we can, but actually in this text says more than that, but we just do this part first. We practice with this part, okay? So you follow where is going your breath. From nostril, when you breathe in, then throat, and then chest, and then navel, and then abdomen. So this go like this. then comes back up from the abdomen to nostril, same way, same thing. So you just follow. You just follow. You just follow means your attention. Just follow your breath. If you are a shepherd, then you always pay attention to the sheep, right? Similarly, when your breath is like a sheep, and your attention like a shepherd, so you always go through this way. Then from your nostrils to sometimes around 5 inches go out your breath from nostril, and then comes back from the 5 inch to from distance. You follow your breath. That means your breath not only in your body, sometimes around you, which means it goes out 5 inches from your nostrils. And sometimes still there are more longer than that. Focusing on your breath, but I think it will be clear. And then third is providing, which means you watch your breath, providing your whole body from your nostril to your feet. It is providing whole your body. Then you just watch them. And then what happened at that moment is sometimes you notice your breath is warm. And then you just focus on that. Sometimes you notice that your breath is cold. Then you just focus on that feeling. So when you focus on the providing of your breath, your breath is providing whole your body, and then sometimes you have that feeling, this breath is cold or sometimes warm, and then whatever you feel, and then you just focus on that feeling. So this is, I think, useful during the mindfulness practice. I think maybe this vice breath is like that. Right now, then this question says, is this related? His Eminence teachings on Hong Vajra recitation. That is related. It means the Vajra recitation is, as you know, His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche often gave us this instruction. When we breathe in within the Om, and then hold with the letter A, and then breathing out with Hong. So this is related with that process. At that moment, you just focus only your breath, your breath, or you focus on the mantra syllables, or you focus on the action decision. Your decision means which is more comfortable for you, then you can choose. Okay. Then the third question says, please give us a guide as to how to choose the one deity to focus on. Okay. First, actually, this is sometimes it depends on imprint from previous life. It means you already have a relationship with Idam in previous life. So in this life, you just see a picture or heard the name of Yidam, or you receive empowerment of that Yidam, then you have special feeling. It is only judged through your feeling. I cannot introduce your Yidam, but you can. So in previous life, you made imprint or your karma in order to you made some karma with that Yidam. Then even though you went to some shopping center, sometimes they sell many pictures of Yidams. There are plethora of Yidam deities pictures. If you then among them, there is a very small reason. You just like color, then you pick up one. Sometimes there's some like actions or different ways. Then you like to pick up one of them. So that means in previous life you made this great karma with that Yidam. Then you practice this. And also sometimes these spiritual masters give empowerment and do the teach on there. Then you have this is not only related on the previous life. Sometimes in this life also you met spiritual masters and then who gives teaching or who gives teaching or empowerment and so on. Then you have special feelings. So I think you will understand through this way. Also, I think including your dreams too. Yeah. Then another question. You spoke about how the imprint of negative thoughts can depend if we entrust them with the nose rub. Sometimes these negative thoughts have been depending for many incarnations and are very deeply imprinted. With this in mind, how can deeply imprinted jealousy become joy? The question is, how can deeply imprinted jealousy become joy? You are right. Jealousy become joy is actually not easy. But not all your jealousy is in imprinting from previous life. Some of your jealousy is created in this life. Jealousy is like your child. If you indulge, you're jealous. And then it becomes completely spoiled. So in the 37 practice way of Bodhisattva, if you have small, most of us have the afflictive emotion. That's honestly everybody. But when the small means whether small or big, it's first time it arises at that moment we try to purify before the spoiled these afflictive emotions. So, for instance, why I pick up here a child for the example. This is if you have a child and then you give him or her your mobile phone, then always let him or her watch games or something. Then slowly the child spoiled with that mobile phone. Actually, not only child spoiled, honestly, many old people spoiled with mobile phone. But then then they go to the school, right? These children go to the school. Of course, they have homework, but ask them or you tell them do homework. It's very difficult to do the homework because you are spoiled with hold the mobile phone. Then they always, even though they don't need to eat food, they just hold your mobile phone. I don't mean that spoiled is bad. I don't know bad or good. This is maybe your plan or the how to say the different versions or different view. But for me also actually spoiled already when I was with my parents. They gave me food, I ate, but always I remain little food in the cup, right? Bowl, in the bowl. My mom often told me, don't do that. Because in Tibet, at that time, we don't wash often these bowls. Then it's, of course, I just do that. Then slowly become, how to say, habitual. Kind of this. And there are many ways, but some story, if I try to share with you, you may not understand. In order to you spoiled your jealous, then it is very, very difficult to control. Actually, the jealousy comes from where? Jealousy comes from two strong emotions. Two strong emotions. Desire and anger. Really. Because the desire is you love someone has good things, you love that thing. For example, I have this flower, you love that flower. That is your desire. Your angry emotions, you don't like I have that flower. So these two things combine. Jealousy, it's if you wish, but the first, this jealousy arises from the mind. Best things you have to know. Oh, that is my jealousy. And if you are a Vajrayana practitioner, pure perception is excellent method to purify your jealousy, because you do rejoice and you see purify, even though oh, he has a very nice flower, very beautiful. He has a beautiful flower. Then you can offer this flower to the Buddha and Dharma and Sangha. You don't want to buy this flower from me. Don't want to take from me this, but you just offer. Because this old, His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche always says, oh, Dharmakaya is like the sky, always in the space. Sambhogakaya is like the rainbow, it beautifully appears. And Nirmanakaya is flowers and rains, rain and flowers. So that's where always these three kayas exist in this space. So you just offer. If you can recite the mantra, you do, but if you can't recite, just from mentally offer. So then your jealousy has no space to come. So I think that's well. In order to since it's first time jealous arises, then we training with that, with pure perception and rejoice. Actually, rejoice is antidote to jealousy. So there are other questions related with rejoice. So I think I will tell at that time. Maybe I will tell her. So the rejoice is the actually key point, right? Key point. Also, you should cultivate the rejoice even when you are not jealous. Rejoice in things, and you say it often. Sometimes you say something, you become habitual. Habituation or habitual. In order to familiar, you become familiar. Even though you text something, text message, then people have some good things. How are you? You say, how are you? I'm fine. Then you say, rejoice, really. Then slowly, you become your teacher. That's where Buddha say you are your self-protector. So you text message with rejoice, more. When you rejoice others, is rejoice by yourself. When you're jealous to others, it's jealous yourself. Do you understand what I mean? So also the jealous, jealousy arises in the mind. It's really unhappiness in the mind. Also pretty difficult to understand that is the jealousy. So we have to training in the many ways. Jealousy makes lots of serious. So in Tibetan, actually this is in Dharma saying, or Dharma says, Chado jin la gadumi. Whoever has jealous, then that person is always unhappy. But we pray nobody have that jealous. But when we see other people who has the feeling of jealous, we don't want to look down. Instead, we give compassion. That is so important. The other question. It is easy to put the teachings to a test by reciting mantra before sleeping. However, it doesn't result in a positive dream. Why is that? My answer is to begin with, you should not have the expectation of having a good dream. When you practice, you should think, may everybody have a good dream. Sometimes when you have a bad dream, it is not bad. It is not bad signs. But you can purify your non-virtues. Sometimes your bad dream tells you you need to purify your non-virtues. As Milarepa says, sometimes disease and obstacles tell you that it is time to practice. And then, anyhow, it's similar. Good dreams are good signs. But then you more practice. Still, you more practice on there. You get good dreams. Of course, it's a good sign, but you are going to practice more on there. If there's a bad sign, bad dreams, and then that means also you have to practice. Learning from the dream and practice with the dream. Practice with the dream means, no, I do not talk about the 6 yoga of Naropa, but whether you are a practitioner of 6 yoga of Naropa or you are not practitioner of 6 yoga of Naropa, we have a dream, right? We have a dream. So we learn from the dream. We practice with the dream. That's so important. That results in positive dream. Yeah, you recite mantra for getting only good dreams. Sometimes not. You are right, but you don't expect. In order to don't expect the good dreams. Actually, you did good things. You will get good dreams, really, right? As Milarepa shared his good dream to the Marpa and Gampopa shared everything because they did a good job. So then got a good thing, but we don't. We have good dreams. Don't be attached. attachment with that. Okay. The other question says, during previous teachings, you mentioned 10 gurus. I'm wondering what that refers to. I think this is maybe I talked about the Milarepa's 10 gurus. So maybe this question is for that. I'm not sure. If not, please, then you ask me next. Okay. Actually, the Milarepa, in his song, 100,000 verses, in this song says that. So I recite that first for you, okay? Recite, or I will mention to you. I was born in the lower part of Gongtang. Gongtang is his birthplace. Maybe there's a higher part or lower part. I haven't been there, but yeah. I studied in the area of Wuzang. Wuzang, yeah, everybody knows. Studying with Rongtong Laga. Rongtong Laga is I think, first the Dharma teacher. I studied with 10 gurus. I listened to Vajrayana Dharma. My view and understanding of Dharma become vaster. This is I bring from his song. But you are right, these 10 gurus, of course, in the books exist honestly, but I did not get time to search. Because this is related, depend on the history situations, Sometimes we lost many histories, and sometimes it happened everywhere, right? It happened, right? Everybody know. Or sometimes they do not root on the book, because he just from here to there like that. He already says that. Then some part these writers may not write. In order to, he has some teachers. Of course, he learned what? He learned what? Black magic, right? He learned, that's called black magic, from 2 teachers. Then his result successfully accomplished, right? That So what I would like to say here is, I'm not sure among these 10 gurus, including these 2 from the 2 gurus, Marpa, but it looks like his first guru is Rongtong Saga, and then last his guru is Marpa. So then Marpa including them or not? Sorry, that I did not get time to check again with them. So anyhow, whether Milarepa studied or not, that is not our debate section. Whether who are studied or not, the principle is practice. And then during the practice, if you know how to practice, then it's enough. Practice is like the soul, like a pillar of the house. Practice is the pillar of our house, of our life. But how to set up this pillar, that is study. If you think, the house need pillars, then you set up these pillars somewhere. it cannot support to your house. Sometimes the pillars are necessary for the house, protect the house, stable the house, but sometimes how to do that is very important. For example, we all need a house, but we don't know the house. I don't know how to build the house. So anyhow, sometimes I pick up the kind of this thing during my teaching, because I thought it will help you to more pay attention, clearly understand the Dharma. Do you understand? So, in order to Milarepa himself said, yeah, I rejoice you would like to know these 10 gurus, how Milarepa learned with these 10 gurus, each and every one. But my answer is like that part, okay? I hope you will. And you can search in the book. Recently, there are many translations in these Dharma translations. So, can you explain? This is another question. Can you explain divine pride? Divine pride. I think one by one I try to answer. Divine pride. Oh, yeah. My explanation of divine pride is that there are 5 types of creation state visualization. Among them, visualization is spontaneous, which means instantly arise as the deity. Instantly arise as the deity. So, then second question say, what is divine pride? It's almost similar, right? But divine pride is when you feel you are the deity. You feel you are the deity. And this is actually in the Vajrakalaya text I have. Maybe you remember that. Chole nyadangi means the fish comes up from the water. Like that. You suddenly, visualize you are the Yadam deity. Confidently. And clearly and purely. There are 3 things, okay? Then what is your responsibility? Your responsibility is be compassionate. Be like a bodhisattva. Otherwise you think, oh, I'm a Yidam deity. And then in order to don't practice in the, wrong way or something, So Yidam deities appear from the compassion and bodhicitta and wisdom. Bodhicitta, compassion, wisdom, they are combined together, and then Yidam deities appear. For instance, Vajrayogini and Vaitara, same, inherently same. But we see different thing. Inherently same means inherently they are the, compassionate, primordial wisdom in order to Dharmakaya. So that way, when you practice self-visualization. You visualize yourself, the Yidam deity. For what? Number one is you have to purify what? I already said purify. Grasping. If you purify grasping, then you visualize your Yidam deities. Then there's no worry to you make mistakes, because you are selflessness at that moment, right? If you just visualize by yourself Yidam deity as Yidam deity, and then you have a strong grasping, that means impure practice. Then this question, with what kind of thoughts does the take hold of divining pride? So, my answer is you should be paying completely attention to the Yidam deity, and all thoughts should transform into the Yidam deity automatically. I don't know how comfortable, suitable this. Just if I made one dream, one example, I make one example. I think that's not clear. Anyhow, you pay attention. The completely on the Yidam deity, and then other part of your feeling. Usually we say, we have one mind and 51 mentalities, right? So if you focus mind on the Yidam deity, the other mentalities also follow this mind. So similar. Okay. Just say this example. When an ocean waves, dissolve into the ocean, then the spray, right? Spray, S-P-R-A-Y, spray of waves also dissolve in the ocean together. Yeah, similar that. Then clearly is very important. Clearly is anytime is so important, right? When you pay attention, clearly pay attention. If we speak we speak with the friends. If you don't pay attention clearly, then you don't understand. Even though you don't have problems with the language, but still. Similar, when we listen the teachings, then for example, Rinpoche gives teachings, and we drink tea, and then still we focus on his teaching, we can. But we drink tea, and then we focus on the tea, then our attention is changed. They're a little bit loose. So similarly, that. So I hope you will get the. Then, what kind does one take hold of and maintain divining pride? Divining pride. Oh. Well. think this. Is there any danger to this practice? Misunderstanding? Extra. Usually when we practice self-visualization, I don't know that called self-visualization or this on self pay attention as a Yidam deity, and then we need bodhicitta. And this is similar. This second question is there are any danger to the practice? Misunderstand this. If your mind has no bodhicitta, then it's very possible. There are some stories. Someone who has less compassion, less compassion and something. But usually if you're not such as compassionate or bodhisattva, but when you practice, you visualize self-visualization, at that moment you have bodhicitta, or beginning of that. Even though at the same time you cannot do that, still you have the beginning of that. You generate bodhicitta, best things for immeasurable practice. And then whatever you do, everything will be excellent. Okay. The question. Yeah. I think I will try first. You explained the three Tara visualization. Please, could you repeat this visualization? This visualization is a special visualization of Lord Jitin Sunggung. He practiced on there. So then okay, this is also it's good. Usually I taught means I taught same as in the text what they gave us these instructions. This in the heart chakra we visualize green Tara. Her gesture or posture is in the green Tara, same like green Tara. She is tall in 7 inches tall, and then from your nostril 2 taras. I don't know, that's 1 inch or 1 finger. So this facing in. And then you breathe outside and inside. In, exhale and inhale. Then your breathe. In order to your breath color is turquoise, light. And through this way your breath inside to go out. When you exhale, that moment your breath dissolve into the 2 green taras, the area of your nostrils. When you inhale your breath, and then this turquoise light dissolve into the this 1 tara in your heart center or your center chakra. This is how to visualize. And then someone says there's a little bit different experiences. So of course you can move down your center tara in the navel or abdomen. There is no problem. You can do this practice, whatever you have comfortable, you can do. And then before that practice, beginning of this practice, this visualization, if you have your own deity, like a Vajra Yogini or something, also you suddenly you visualize self-visualization by yourself. Because that moment, this we say tamar in the ordinary body purify. Ordinary body purify, you become the yidam, and then you practice on that. It has a great power. And also, when you visualize Tara, green Tara inside, this is not like not solid. It's like a reflection of our face in the mirror. If we think this is solid, then it's not a highest practice. So these two taras and one tara, they all in the like reflections in the mirror. Just appears, but not these are not solid. And then this you have to visualize there is a turquoise light or your breath filled up all your bodies from nostrils and all the channels and something. So no space to come to the disease, right? And then you project outside at that moment, then you your house and other the whole world, whatever you can do, you should do that. And also, if you if you don't have self yidam deity already, it also doesn't matter. Self yidam deity means immeasurable love, immeasurable compassion. So you practice on that. We already did that, right? Practice on the immeasurable love. Practice on the immeasurable compassion. Yes, one have different experiences. It's very good. Somebody shared with me. We already practice on their step by step. We just all mother seeking beings. If you already have experience, then pretty easy to visualize all mother seeking beings with the immeasurable love. But you sometimes, whether you have experience on there, we go step by step. Immeasurable love with only human being, and then animals and hunger goes and so on. Another day, of course, we can do on compassion with that. So one time we can't do everything. Time is running out. Time is running out. We cannot hold time. Anyone can hold? If anyone can hold the time, and anyone take picture of the bird fly in the sky, then I give you a special gift. Anyone can do that? Maybe, yes. I will give you a special gift. Offer you a special gift, okay? Then second question says, my gnosis see self more clearly in dream. Any idea what I meant? More clear. Self more clear in dream. Anyway, it's maybe like a selflessness. Even though you in your dream, you understand that dream is selflessness. This question says, my notes say, see self more clearly in dreams. Any idea what I meant? So I'm not 100% clear with this question, but I'm sorry, it does not your mistakes, my mistakes, my brain, my brain. So, I mean, in the dream, if you understand the dream, in the dream, when you are dreaming, that means in order to dream is the examples of the illusory. So then in the daytime, what we see, what we heard, everything's are like a echo, and dream and so on. So then self is, in order to self is like a dream. Self is like a dream. But this is what I understand from this question is, it's depend with the practitioners. If you are very high practitioners, then still in your dream you can see selflessness. Is it? If you are not higher practitioners, then in the dream, of course, you cannot see selflessness, and on the daytime, wake up still within I is so important like that. So then, yeah, that part. Then question C. Also, please explain more on the uncommon sleep practice and meditate on the clear light associated with sleep. Explain more uncommon. Yeah, there is I already taught. I think you heard that too. Before sleeping, we visualize, generate bodhicitta, because in our body has many insects or many lives. So then before we sleep in, we generate bodhicitta, and then our sleeping is transformed into the virtue. If you then also you recite mantra like a Vajra speech recitation, Om Ahom Vajra recitation speech, then you do that, it will help you to sleep well. Then I taught you that even though before you sleep, then you don't think too much, and then just focus on bodhicitta or mantra. They will help you, and then the sleeping transform into virtue. Usually let you know this. Lord Jitin Sungun says that the ignorance, it's not only him, Buddha said same thing. Ignorance is the cause of all afflictive emotions. Ignorance. So sleeping is part of this. Sleeping is part of ignorance. So that's where, but the ignorance, when we transform ignorance, then become what? Ignorance transform into primordial wisdom. Wisdom. Right? So sleeping, the sleeping is part of ignorance, but before you sleeping, you generate bodhicitta, and then your sleeping transform into virtue. Then you have merit. Even though you sleeping, then still you have virtues. It's so important. We need merit. We need virtues. And then in the daytime, sometimes we have many excuses, right? Excuse me because I happened something. Excuse. Only during the sleeping, we be smart. We should be smart. Before sleeping, generate bodhicitta, and then sleeping, then that will become virtue, and then we karma. So in the half life, if we are alive, or we are living in this world 100 years, 50 years almost we sleep. 50 years we are sleeping, right? 50 years we are. So at that time we make more virtues. Then you wake up and suddenly try to think Yidam deity. These are what I already mentioned it. And then another question says, you studied a reference like Buddhacharya Vatara. Buddhacharya Vatara. Okay. It was. Please, what is this reference? It talk about effective emotions are just ready to bet at any being amongst great distractions. It is like sitting between the fans. Thank you. Fans of effective emotions. You have talked about these fans before. Yes, so this is in the Shantideva's teaching, Buddhacharya Vatara or Buddhacharya Vatara, Buddhacharya Vatara maybe, Vatara or this text. This is from there. In order to this is Shantideva's teaching. These verses you can get from the Shantideva's text. Shantideva's text. So when this is so how to say true, if we are being mindful, then we can prevent many problems. For example, if this side rain a lot, like a wind and something, you suddenly notice and you close the windows and doors, then it cannot wait inside. The rain cannot come, rain or this, they cannot come inside of the house. Before you notice that, right? And then similarly, before any kind of emotions arises, you notice, then they cannot destroy to you. If you ignore them, or you don't care them, or you do not notice they are arising, then you are still like the fence of the, how to say, between the two fence. Then they easily bite you, right? Bite of you. So yeah, I would like to give you a very good example, but my fence is so small, like a mouse fence. So I can't, if I have like an elephant fence, then it's a very good example, right? But this, right now I cannot find the examples, but we have a reality. What are them? The these two things. What is called the distraction. We have distraction. So whenever we have distraction, then we are loose under the distraction. But we don't want to lose, under the distraction. Okay. Then another question is, you said you would speak more on this at a later data. What are some reading you would suggest that are available to expand understanding of the essence of faults, defects? I think this is calling the guru far away from afar. It tells a lot of faults of us. Really, as yesterday I mentioned it, there are many. It tells me or not. Oh my Lord, I cannot read this in front of people because it tells my mistakes. Just kidding. Actually it tells a lot. Really, you check what are. Then you best thing is you bring one pen, red pen. Okay, it's very clear. And then you read what you have. You mark. Yes, I'm there. Yes, I'm there. Yes, I'm there. And then you join the retreat. Then you're in your heart. You don't bring any book. You don't bring any other object. You just bring only, and then you put in front of your window, and then you meditate. Oh, I have that. So this week I'm going to purify this part. And then the meditate, recite mantra, practice. Then you will accomplish from them. And then you come back, oh, I'm past, right? Then you can arise on that from that text may not have a non-virtue. You arise, right? Arising. And then second one, and then you put it in front of you. And so that is a good one. And also I think right now I cannot think suddenly which text tell us. Actually, sometimes, it's good explanations make something in the mind. That's, I think, one time I shared, but sorry, I'm a little bit too much talkative, but I hope you get some benefit. When I was Tibet, first I studied about the Pranjana Parimata text. This heart star is part of them. So also in this Abhidharma Kosha text, also that talks about the Buddha's qualities. Buddha has 32 mark and 80 something measures, something minor marks, right? Qualities. So at that time, they talks about the Buddha's teeth. So at that time, my teeth is not good. So I was so shy. I always think when I recite that part, I'm more effective in my mind. It happened, So this is just example. Similar, when we recite the good text, then we have to know this tells all my faults. So I'm going to confess. Non-virtuous heart, only good quality is we can confess. So this is so important. I think it's finished, yeah? Oh, grasping is 5th question. Grasping, clinging, attaching, same as making something solid. Ice block. Ice block. Yes, this is Rinpoche often gave us this example. It's such a wonderful example. So they all grasping, clinging, attaching. They all ice, like ice. But they all can. Ice melt into the water. grasping, clinging, attaching into bodhicitta wisdom, paramount wisdom. If you would like to know what are the different, the grasping and attachment. Grasping is related with the anger, related with the jealousy and self-pride, and attached and this stinginess. Everything. Grasping is related to everything, but attachment is sometimes some way it is, but the directly not related with anger. If you are anger, anger and attachment a little bit opposite. But in other hands, they are interdependent each others. Sometimes cause of attachment makes anger, right? That let us know. Then if we try to focus very detail, actually my English is no good, but I searched from my dictionary too. The clinging and attaching has little different, okay? Little different. The attach, it's different means also it's the one attachment can become clinging. But first is attach. For example, I love this flower. If this is my afflictive emotion, I love this flower. This is, I think, attachment or attaching. Then I love, again, become like ice. Water become ice, milk become yogurt, and similar. So this is called, I think, clinging. Thick, strong. It's very difficult to separate. First, I love this flower, right? Then slowly, from my side, different emotions support to my attachment, and then from this flower also shows good the seed, some kind of lotus part and so on. Then my mind is so difficult to separate from this flower. I think that is clinging. The grasping, actually, this both of them, the grasping, but literally grasping means I want it, I need it. Grasping means like I need it. Just beat for not it. I need it. I need it. So this is, I think, clinging. But let you check other dictionaries and so. Actually, I need one word during my teaching. Yesterday, I mentioned it. The Telopa gave instruction to Naropa. That also appearances, and then Xinba. Xinba, that word I couldn't find yet exactly words. But I forgot translators what they did use, but so they use correctly, but I forgot. That is a very important word. So I think right now clinging is maybe that word we can. It will help me to when my teaching clinging. Do you understand? Okay. Then okay. It says in Akashagarbha Sutra that if we have enough merit, we call Akashagarbha, he will help purify our bodhisattva downfalls and. Okay. Anyhow, I'm sorry. Right now I cannot measure this the name of Akashagarbha and who is that one. So I will answer you another time on this question. But all yidams helps you to purify your broken samaya, the Vajrasattva and so on. But don't worry, I will, another time I will answer for you this. Then second question, there is a Bodhisattva downfall of teaching emptiness to the untrained. Would this include explaining the faults of self-grasping, and that is reality, there is no self? Okay, this is actually very good. This someone who has no bodhisattva, bodhicitta in their mind, then we talk about emptiness, they are not ready to teach. This is true. But let us know, sometimes you use the spiritual masters or teachers, oh, they teach everything. Because in Buddhism said not all of that, this, those. Sometimes you have kind of that feeling. But the spiritual teachers who have real the knowledge of Dharma and who has a real experience on the Dharma, they will give these teachings skillfully. That means sometimes in the Dharma say, if we directly look these books, they say, oh, it's not allowed to touch this flower. And then if I touch this flower, then you think, oh, he did the broken samaya like that. But not like that. In that text says, commentary says very well, very detailed. For example, you cannot touch this flower this way, but you can touch through that way. You know, you cannot, that kind of this way. So in this way, they sometimes not allowed to teach, not allowed to teach. This is sometimes yes, but not always. And then this is actually not related with only who are the listeners. This is related with who gives teachings, right? So they be careful. They have to know which part, what part, and so on. So actually, very, very good question. But if we do not, who has no the and who has not good understanding, then they think, oh, everything's emptiness, and then I can do everything. I can break law of karma. I can break the law of way of the Bodhisattva. If who think like that, that definitely misunderstand. But kind of one person who usually he think like that, they almost. I give you a very sweet example. This is a sweet example for me, but I don't know how about you. So one person whole life accumulated non-virtues, whole life. Non-virtues, almost ready to die. Its mind changes. Then gurus and the spiritual masters who recognize and it is time to ready to give something special teaching for that person. You know, karma is like that. And then we think, oh, this person did very bad things. Whole life is accumulated bad karma. But then why this do that like that when this day or something? So kind of this, you know, karma is very, very subtle, very subtle. To learn karma is so important. Some part of karma is almost inconceivable, but not all. So we have to pay attention more karmas. So that's where the people are saying that, right? In order to someone made a mistake, but their mistake is, Buddha actually teach two teachings we call the Tangdung and the Ngidung. Ngidung means what is that? For example, Dharmakaya is formless, emptiness, and selfless. This is the reality. But in the old relative truth, sometimes Buddha says, do that, this, those. That we just look. This is like a little bit like a white lie, white lies. But they are not lies. Buddha never say any single lie. That's why Buddha's teaching have a special power. For example, yesterday Rinpoche gave us gave us one verse from the Bodhicitta prayer, Bodhisattva prayer. This has a special power because this Dinsektrapa, Rinpoche mentioned it, Dinsektrapa. That means Buddha's speeches teachings have everything that Dinsektrapa. Dinsektrapa means it has power because he never lie like that. Lie is different, different from the motivations, different way of the talk. So we don't say everything's are. So it's like direct and direct and indirect. In order to, we cannot say things are star, what we see in the sky, right? In the sky has clouds, sun, moon, and other planets. So, then third question: all phenomena are pure. So why meditate on impurity? And would these imply a downfall of higher system? When we teach language, the new learners, if we suddenly teach how to make medicines, or if we suddenly teach beginning of the teaching, we teach explain the meaning of books, or give in their hand a very thick book, storybook, can they use or not? They can't. But first we teach E, B, C, D, and so on. Same thing, meditate on impurity is for the sake of meditate on pure. So, but suddenly we cannot fathom, suddenly we cannot understand that. That's where we do it. But let us know that everything's are steps. Everything's steps means step by step going. Cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect, like that. So we have two kind of accumulation of merits, right? So first accumulation of merit is physically and by the speech, by the mind. We do them, we practice them, and then slowly we will achieve or we will reach in non-duality. So suddenly we cannot reach on the non-duality. Suddenly we teach on the non-duality, then sometimes, people, practitioners don't understand well on there. So the way of the teaching and the way of the practice. Suddenly teach on the non-duality, why people cannot fathom, cannot understand. Because they have to purify. They have to purify. So, yeah. But very good questions. Thank you very much. Every these questions, I rejoice. And then last question here is organ that's died. His Holiness the Dalai Lama has frequently taught that there are no hells. If there's, I don't think His Holiness taught like that. What I heard from him in his Tibetan language is teaching, don't talk frequently about the hells, hell situation of hell realms. It's like makes scared others. Not only that, because his main purpose is people have to study Dharma. This is 100,000 times, or frequently he says people should study Dharma. People should study Buddhism. He said we use human intelligence, so that means first, before make scared, have to study. That's what I heard. But if there's no hells, not what we need, actually. If there's no hell and hells, 18 hells, then we are so happy, right? Then we don't want to practice. Why we practice Dharma? So, but the hell mind, okay? Your mind means, oh, it is only my mind. If you think that, that is misunderstand. You make non-virtues, hell is always with your mind. You make virtues, pure land is always with your mind. That Nagarjuna says. Now, I don't want to bring this verse. If you are so hungry, so exciting, I will, but not now. So, but if you already, I'm sorry, not only you, if you consider other people's non-virtues or yourself have some non-virtues, please don't be afraid the hell right now. Still you have a golden opportunity to purify. First you purify these non-virtues. There is similar, there's no hells. If you do not purify non-virtues and still you almost, frequently you accumulated non-virtues, then wherever you go is almost like a hell realm. So the non-virtues are good quality, only single quality, good quality, that is you can purify. So you purify. Many masters, ancient masters, practitioners, they purify. Even though this Yogi Malarepa, he purified completely within the one life and within one body. So that's so we all can do same thing. So one person spoke with Malarepa. He said what? Oh, you are in previous life, you are special, that's way you can do. We cannot do like that. Then Malarepa said, that is your wrong spoken. You're wrong spoken. I'm not any special in my previous life. That's where I made a mistake in this life. But if you do purify, we are no different. Wrong spoken means in Tibetan called kunda. So if you would like to correctly vocabulary words, okay? Okay, then how come there is no space, they lower the emotional attitude? My understanding of this question is bad karma and good karma. Right now we're talking about I'm talking about the bad karma. So some bad karma you can purify. Some bad karma will ripen. Then it will finish. So another life, if this life you couldn't purify your non-virtues, then in the next life, this result will ripen. Okay. And then there's last questions. As I practice to lessen my own attachment to the 8 world dharmas. Okay, sorry. I noticed that my compassion for people who are affected by the Eightfold Dharmas is not growing. For example, in the past, I might feel very sorry for someone who has lost their reputation or wealth, but now I think to myself, it is truly not so bad. I would wonder if they will find the Dharma through their hardship and hope they do. Please, can you give advice for how to cultivate great compassion for more health? Or beings who suffer from socially isolation recognition without imposing my own personal practice or projections on. Oh, this is my understanding of this question is very true, because many ways practitioners way of practice sometimes it happened kind of in order to experience it like that, uh, but they're getting in order to losing compassion through the understand of situations. I think that is uh, uh, we have to changed. We have to change it of this thinking. For instance, the great practitioners, they are why they become more compassionate. They completely enlightened, became enlightened, but still why they are more more become compassionate, because there's a good thing and of course one good thing. For example, first I just made example by myself too. First, I love this flower. For that reason, somebody loves that flower, loves this flower, and then something happened with this flower, and then I can compassion with that person. But no, I don't love this flower. I do not love this flower. I understood, yeah, Dharma way. I understood this flower is not truly exist. This is a Dharma Dhatu, and then but in the relative truth, something happened, this flower. Then somebody so regret and unhappy at that moment. Oh, this is Dharmakaya, why you are unhappy? If we think like that, that is not okay now. You give more compassion. You, the reason of this non-duality, you give more compassion. Because this is non-duality and dharma dhatu, but this person still have a dualistic thinking, grasping. Grasp the dualistic thinking. Then you can give more compassion. Another example, when we are a child, we make a small house and something for something, and then someone come in, a wind destroy that or something, we cry. But our parents give us more kind of love, take care of more. Why? It does not mean they are attached with that house. That house is not a real house. Oh, true, right? Children's true broke, and the parents they don't have desire with that. They know that's just true or something, but true or something. Toy. So thank you very much. Toy. And they know, but children they don't know. They think this is real something for me. Then they cry, but parents take care of more. Same like that. Okay. Uh, that's all here. These questions. Yes. Huh? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Fire flame. Oh. Uh-huh. Oh. I think this is depends practitioners, but it's um, when we meditate and then the Om Ahom Vajra recitation mantra practice. When you fall asleep in night, can you do with the follow the breath and and visualize the fire flames? So this I think not easy to do at the same time. I sometimes say that sorry, this is not good, but one stone cannot kill two birds. so so I think it's difficult. A little bit difficult. But if you already have training on there, then I cannot judge your practice. So I'm sorry, we don't want to kill birds. So, especially you are going to sleeping, you have a sleep depression, problem of a sleep depression, right? Depression. Then these practitioners, I mean, particularly who have that problem, then you try to more or less decrease your thoughts. You have sleeping, and then you what tomorrow, what I should do, what I say, what I then your mind communicate itself. So then it's lost. They take away your sleeping, but you focus on the Om Ahom. Even though His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche often gave us this advice. So we, even though you don't want to recite from your mouth, just naturally you, like a mental recitation. In order to, my answer is, best is you just only focus on the Om Ahom first. But if you can, fire flame or any non-duality, whatever, of course, yeah, I rejoice on that. Uh-huh. Before you said when you wake up in the morning, you think of the Yidam. Yes. Question is, do you also visualize the Can you repeat? Before I talked, when you wake up, you think of Yidam deity. So also, do you visualize yourself as Yidam deity? It's either fun. That's still, that's both is excellent. Both. Another question. Mm-hmm. How do you recommend study and practice this precious Garland? How I recommend, right? How do you recommend? Uh-huh. To study and practice. How do you recommend to study and practice? The precious garland of that. How do you recommend? Recommend means? What is your advice? Oh. That you're teaching right now. Mm-hmm. We we already taught there are many sections, and number 10, 10, 10, 10. Then each section has a very deep level and very we can even the how to eat and how to drink. I think the best is you listen. That is so important. After listening, you more focus, and then among them, which one is more suitable for you because of your circumstance, because time, because of your wisdom, then you pick up some of them, and then you try to put it into the action as much as possible. You can do it. Some part is it's not time to practice. Then you do not worry about that. But first you do which section you can more practice. But the first is that you listen. That is so important. Listen carefully. But then only listen carefully, that's not enough. Then you more training, practice with your mind. And like a research, right? Which one is more help for you? Also, we want to be smart. The Dharma practice is the benefit of this life and the next life. We say that we have to use that. Dharma practice is not only for next life. For instance, in this Gampopa's instruction says how to eat food. It's the benefit for this life too, right? So sometimes easy one, very understand, very easy. If we practice them, it's very easy. But you don't look down them. You don't say easy peasy. If you tell them easy peasy, they tell you easy peasy. They tell you easy peasy. then you are always okay. Okay. Thank you very much for all of wonderful questions. Your questions are teaching, and I deeply rejoice. And we dedicate our marriage together. Especially these days, we have lots of problems in the world because of a disease. So there are special dedication prayer. So I recite that. Please, everybody, dedicate internally. May every being aligned with disease be freed at once from every malady. May all the sickness that afflicts the living be instantly and permanently healed. Sunam deya damje zubanye tovanye bedana bamze chigan anje balon drobaye ziban zolen drowa yo paman zimje damje dedan danger Nendo damje da dongwa yo janjo zamba ganda zajo Te dai genja mong lan zhe ba yo sim jian ne ba jin ne ba nyur de ne le ta jir ro wen ne na ma le ba ta den jong wan me ba yo chang jo sim jo ren bo je ma je pa nam ji jir Ji ba nyam ba me ba ye gong ne gong de be wa yo